Back in the 2000s, or what I like to call the better 90s, I would always watch my brother play some of the coolest video games of all time. I'm talking Zelda Ocarina of Time, Zelda Majora's Mask. I'm talking about the original Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2. I'm talking Kingdom Hearts 1, and my all-time favorite, Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, of course, I was just some stupid little baby.
No, you can't have any more. You've had 2.
So I myself couldn't actually play the games, but getting to watch somebody experience the limitless options that these games provided for the players, getting to gawk at some of the brilliantly creative character designs, and getting to hear some of the most beautiful soundtracks that literally stuck with me till today. Now, by the time I hit 6th grade, I had finally grown into a 5'10" hairy-armed man, and I could essentially make all my own life decisions. So, of course, I asked for an Xbox 360 for my birthday, and, oh boy. Oh man. Whoa. I got it. And not only did I get an Xbox 360, which would later go on to get the Red Ring of Death. It was one of the white ones.
What?
Are you touching him?
What the f***?
I was graced with one of the greatest games, Halo 3. When I popped that disc into my Xbox, which would, as I said, it would get the Red Ring of Death. It became completely unusable within a few months. But while it was still working, I popped in the disc, and I was greeted by this choir that told me, "You're gonna save the world, and it's gonna be awesome." That experience alone was enough to get me hooked on video games for life, but unfortunately, that video game high wouldn't last very long. I mean, Modern Warfare was pretty good. Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, great game. But after that point, all the Call of Duty games got really stale. It was just a reskinned version of all the other games. All the Assassin's Creed games involved slowly walking behind someone for like real time, up to an hour, and it sucked. And every one of the zombie games is exactly the same. Don't try to tell me it isn't. Left 4 Dead was okay. Dead Rising, not that fun. Dead Island, ugh. And then sports games, I hate sports. Why would I want a virtual simulation of one of my least favorite activities? Every single RPG game was all about...
Did someone say excellent? No! Speaking of eggs, don't forget to find all 800 eggs scattered throughout all the world!
But that wasn't the worst of it. Oh, that wasn't even close. Enter in the year 2014.
No!
Destiny, one of the most highly anticipated games of all time, gets released, made by Bungie, the people that made Halo, and Activision, the people that made Call of Duty. And all my buddies and I bought it, and then after about 2 hours, there was nothing left to do in the game.
Mercury. I have the coordinates.
And after about 5 minutes, you've experienced all the game has to offer, so you'll keep on repeating those exact same missions, but they might look a little bit different. But that's not the worst part about Destiny. The worst part is that even though you paid $60 for a full game and you got almost nothing out of it, the developers sought to fix this by saying, we're going to release additional content. Usher in the dark era of DLCs. For those of you that don't play video games, let me draw you a little picture of what this looks like. Imagine you go to a nice restaurant and you order a chicken. It's quite expensive, and then the chef brings it to you, and once you start cutting into it, you realize that only like the top layer is cooked, that about 90% of the chicken's actually raw. And the chef says, well, try to cut around the raw parts and enjoy the part that is cooked. In a couple hours, we'll have the ovens running again, and then we can cook your chicken a little more. But if you want the rest of the cooked chicken, you're gonna have to pay extra, and there's no guarantee that we're gonna finish cooking it. This is exactly what they did with Destiny. First DLC, $20. Second DLC, another $20. At this point, it's somewhat playable. Then they release a new DLC, $40. Now it's almost a full game, and then they release the final DLC, $30. If you're doing the math in your head, and I did it not in my head because I'm not very good at math, $130 you're spending for this unfinished game. It took 2 years to finish it. Only in parts you get it, and it still wasn't that good. And unfortunately, this business model started to infect other companies. All these other companies started to release unfinished games with DLC that you had to buy. You don't know if the game's good, and you don't know if the DLC's good, so you're just giving them money and hoping for the best. And that's still not the worst of it.
That's impossible!
Then they hide essential aspects of the game behind these loot boxes where you have to pay real money for a chance to get the thing that you want that should have already been included in the game. And there's a very high percentage that you're not going to get the thing that you're looking for.
Unlock it. what's in this box. Oh no!
You look at games like Fallout 76 they released, and that's not anywhere close to being a finished game. And there's so much stuff you have to pay for, and how the company handled dealing with people that were upset that spent a full $60 on that game. Oh my gosh, they have zero respect for the fans. They have zero respect for the people that are filling their pockets with money, that are just saying, I'm gonna give you what I have. Please give me a fun virtual experience so I can escape the world for a little bit. And they said, we're not gonna give you that, but we're gonna give you our bare minimum. And even with all these late term additions, the games were still not fun. I found myself playing these games, and the whole time I either had to be listening to a podcast or like a YouTube video just to keep myself somewhat interested, because the games were so dry, the games were so boring and so formulaic. It's impossible to actually enjoy the experience unless you're also doing something else. And then December 2018. I'm on break from college, I'm at my parents' house, and I'm cleaning up a little bit, and I stumble upon Kingdom Hearts 2. I immediately went over to my PS2 and I wiped off all the dust, and I plug it into my TV. I start playing this game that I grew up watching my brother play and never got the chance to play for myself, because by the time I was playing video games, it hadn't really crossed my mind that that game still existed, but boy does it exist. I'm not thinking about a billion other things I have to be doing. I'm not reaching for my phone to play a YouTube video so that I can at least spare some of my attention on this game. I'm feeling a feeling I haven't felt for a video game in forever. I'm actually enjoying it. I'm actually having a good time. Oh my gosh, and the graphics aren't that good. I mean, it was made in like 2004, so it's not that impressive, but oh, the gameplay was incredible and the story was fun. I mean, it's very flawed, but there's so much heart that went into it, and the music sticks with me even till today. And this game, there's no DLCs. There's no Kingdom Hearts, I gotta go pay for additional content. There's none of those crappy glitches. It's just a well-made game that I literally could have played forever. And once I got to the end, after that point, I started to revisit a bunch of old games that I used to treasure in my childhood and always wish I could play for myself. I found a PS Vita that had Star Wars Battlefront 2, and every single plane I have been on since I found it, I've been playing that game, because it's incredible. It's so fun. It has the original music. You can play as all the heroes. There's no loot boxes. It's incredible. And then I went back to Halo 3, one of my first video games of all time. Oh my gosh. I forgot how fun that game was. Comparing that game to Halo 5, there is no comparison. The music is so good, the visuals were awesome for the time, but it doesn't matter because it's lifted up by an incredible story, an incredible replay value. I could play that campaign a billion times and never get bored of it. Now you might be saying, for those of you hardcore gamers out there, Mr. Sweet, you gotta wipe the nostalgia from those. I'm not wearing my glasses. I thought I had my glasses with me. I'm not even wearing them. This is embarrassing. Adam, you gotta take off those nostalgia goggles, because you're looking at these games wrong. They're not as good as you think they are. It's just you remember them from your childhood. But here's the thing, bucko. Aside from Halo 3, I didn't play any of these games. This is my first experience, and when directly comparing them to the modern games that exist right now, no comparison. But I recognize that fun is very subjective, but you cannot deny the heart and the effort and the lack of interest in monetary success that these original video games had. So we as gamers need to stop pre-ordering all these new annual releases of the same freaking 3 games. We gotta stop getting season passes. We gotta tell the people that are making these games, we're not gonna keep paying for this. You're gonna give us a finished game. You want to release additional content later on? Do it for free or put it in the sequel. The what you give me originally, that's the game, and I'm paying $60 for it. And if you told me it's gonna be $100, but it's gonna be incredibly fun, there's no additional content, and it's incredibly polished, fine, I will give you $100. But that's not what they're doing. Gotta tell these companies enough is enough. I'm not gonna keep shoveling all of my money towards you for this garbage. We're smarter than that. I'm Adam Sweet, and I appreciate you joining me on this little tirade today. I hope to see you again. Have a good one.